Nature is powerful, and when it turns violent, there's nowhere to hide. In today's video, we're diving into the most terrifying natural disasters ever caught on camera. From tsunamis swallowing entire coastlines, to tornadoes ripping apart cities in seconds, to volcanoes erupting with no warning. These aren't just stories, these are real, raw, and spine-chilling moments captured as they happened. You'll witness the Earth at its most furious, where survival hangs by a thread, and the camera is the only silent witness to chaos. Stay with us, because what you're about to see is both terrifying and unforgettable. The 2011 Japan tsunami. On March 11, 2011, a massive 9.0 magnitude earthquake shook the coast of Japan, but the real nightmare came minutes later. Towering waves over 40 feet high raced inland, crashing into towns like a moving wall of destruction. Entire neighborhoods were swallowed in seconds. Cars floated like toys. Homes, schools, and businesses vanished beneath muddy water. This moment was captured in hundreds of heart-wrenching videos. The tsunami claimed nearly 20,000 lives and triggered a nuclear crisis in Fukushima. The sheer speed, scale, and unstoppable force of this disaster makes it one of the most terrifying events ever recorded on camera. A brutal reminder of nature's fury. Mount St. Helens eruption. The calm beauty of Washington's Mount St. Helens vanished in an instant on May 18, 1980. A violent volcanic eruption sent ash, gas, and rock shooting 80,000 feet into the sky. But the most terrifying part? The lateral blast, a sideways explosion that ripped through forests at 300 miles per hour. A camera crew filming from miles away barely made it out alive. Their footage shows a cloud of fire and ash barreling toward them like a tsunami on land. In just minutes, 230 square miles of wilderness were flattened. 57 people died. It was one of the most well-documented eruptions ever, and it changed how we understand volcanoes. Scientists later discovered the blast was so powerful, it stripped trees from hillsides like toothpicks. The ash cloud circled the globe, turning sunsets red for months. Indian Ocean tsunami. It was the day after Christmas in 2004 when a massive 9.1 earthquake struck beneath the Indian Ocean. What followed was one of the deadliest natural disasters in history. A tsunami struck without warning, hitting 14 countries. In video after video, we see people enjoying the beach, then confusion as the ocean pulls back, and finally, a monstrous wave crashing down, swallowing everything. Over 230,000 people lost their lives. One unforgettable clip shows a man desperately trying to pull a child from the rushing water. A raw, heartbreaking snapshot of the human struggle during nature's most brutal moment. Some waves reached heights of 100 feet, tossing ships inland like toys. Entire villages vanished, leaving only rubble and silence. The disaster exposed the lack of a global tsunami warning system, leading to reforms that save lives today. Missouri tornado. This EF5 tornado struck Joplin on May 22, 2011, packing winds over 200 miles per hour and cutting a mile-wide path of destruction through the city. It killed 158 people and injured over 1,000. Dashcams, security footage, and smartphones caught the event in terrifying clarity. You can hear the wind howl like a jet engine. Buildings collapse. Cars are tossed like paper. This was no ordinary tornado. It was a catastrophic force of nature that turned an entire city into rubble in just 38 minutes. Survivors described the sound as a continuous explosion, with metal twisting and glass shattering in every direction. The tornado was so powerful it stripped bark from trees and left some areas looking like a war zone. Australian bushfires. Australia burned like never before during the 2019 to 2020 summer season. With extreme drought and heat, wildfires spread uncontrollably across millions of acres. Entire towns were engulfed. Videos show walls of flame closing in on highways as drivers flee. Skies turned orange at midday. Animals, homes, forests, all consumed. These fires weren't just massive, they were apocalyptic. They killed at least 33 people, over 3 billion animals, and sent shockwaves through the global climate conversation. The smoke traveled across oceans, turning New Zealand's glaciers brown. Hurricane Katrina. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast as a Category 5 storm. But what made it historic was the human disaster that followed. As levees failed, 80% of New Orleans was submerged. Helicopter footage shows desperate people clinging to rooftops, waving for rescue. Streets turned into rivers. Entire neighborhoods disappeared underwater. Over 1,800 lives were lost. The images remain burned in memory, a powerful blend of natural fury and human vulnerability. It's a tragic chapter that changed how America responds to disaster. The Superdome became a shelter of last resort, where thousands endured heat, hunger, and chaos. Looters waded through chest-deep water, while others formed human chains to save strangers. Oklahoma tornado. The tornado that hit Moore in 2013 was massive, with winds exceeding 210 miles per hour. It tore through the town for 39 minutes, flattening schools and homes. One of the most intense videos comes from a storm chaser who narrowly escapes the funnel. You see stop signs twist and fly, and entire buildings vanish in the blink of an eye. It's terrifying not just for the destruction, but for the eerie calm before and the total devastation after. Moore has been hit before, but this one was unforgettable. Parents rushed to Plaza Towers Elementary, where 7 children died. Their bodies found huddled together for protection. The tornado's path was so precise that some houses were obliterated, while others stood untouched. Avalanche in Nepal. In 2015, a 7.8 earthquake in Nepal triggered a deadly avalanche on Mount Everest. Base camp, where climbers were preparing for ascent, was hit directly. GoPro footage captures the roar as the snow rushes toward tents. People scream, dive for cover, and then white out. The avalanche buried climbers and destroyed shelters. 22 people were killed, making it the deadliest day on Everest. The footage is raw, chaotic, and haunting, a chilling reminder that even the world's highest peaks can turn deadly in seconds. Some survivors dug themselves out of the snow, only to find friends missing. The quake also triggered landslides in Kathmandu, killing thousands more in one of Nepal's worst disasters. Flash flood in Spain. In Mallorca, Spain, what began as a rainy day turned into a nightmare. A flash flood hit the town of Sant Llorenç des Cardassar, sweeping cars down streets and destroying homes. Dashcams and mobile phones captured people running, water rising above rooftops in minutes. 13 people were killed. What's terrifying about flash floods is the speed. There's no time to react. It's nature at full throttle and utterly unpredictable. Rescue teams used boats to navigate streets that had turned into raging rivers. The floodwaters carried away everything: furniture, trees, even entire chunks of pavement. Guatemala's Fuego volcano. On June 3, 2018, Fuego volcano erupted with almost no warning. Unlike typical lava flows, this disaster unleashed pyroclastic flows, a deadly mix of hot gas and ash that moves faster than a car. Videos from nearby villages show people running as black smoke clouds sweep down the mountain. Homes were buried. over 190 people died. Rescue crews were overwhelmed. The eruption was so sudden that even those filming didn't realize they were in danger until it was too late. It's a devastating reminder of how quickly nature can turn from calm to catastrophic. Some victims were found frozen in place, their bodies encased in ash. The heat was so intense it melted metal and turned sand into glass. From firestorms to tidal waves, tornadoes to volcanoes. These are moments when nature reminded us who's really in control. They were caught on camera, but no screen can fully capture the terror of being there. Let us know in the comments which disaster shocked you the most, and if you'd want a part 2, because nature's fury has many more stories to tell. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more raw and real mysteries from the wild world.